Alright, getting ready for the next step. Getting very close to Florida. Um, Getting everything fired up right now. Make sure that I have sound working. That is very low. Oh yeah, that is why we don't have any sounds, because I've done everything because I'm talking. Get a little volume in the mic, my headset. Throw this on just in case it is cool out. So we are in Greenville? Is that where we are? Yeah, Greenville. And we're gonna head to Jackson, Mississippi. And that is gonna be the flight today. Hopefully, well, it's actually the middle of the night, but I didn't want to do another night flight, so real weather, but middle of the day. Let's figure out exactly where we're at on the airport. Alright, got an idea now. So, these buttons have changed since the last update, and it's very annoying.
Kilo Golf Lima Hotel Automated Weather Observation 1600 Zulu. Wind, tree forward.
Alright, so we're going to be taking off to the north.
Greenville
south.
ground, Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 ready to taxi departure to the south.
Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 taxi to and hold short of runway 36 right using taxiway Bravo cross runway 36 left Bravo. Contact tower on 119.0 when ready.
Taxiing hold short runway 36 right via taxiway Bravo cross runway 36 left Bravo Cessna Oscar November 5.
Alrighty, got a little bit of taxiing to do. I don't remember if this... Let's go down to the south. If I don't see a taxiway, then we're just going to take off on the left runway and not worry about it. Yeah, so just a little behind on this, and weather just updated there. Yeah, last night, obviously not good time to fly with the storms that we're going through. And all the area that we're going to be flying over, none of it was tornado, but they definitely got some stronger stuff down here as well with the thunderstorms. We are going to cross over on this little old runway, like did when we landed here. Dark out, couldn't really see anything. Yeah, we're getting very close to ending all of this, and then looking at doing some flying in some different planes, and just kind of randomly all over the world. There are a few things that I want to check out. I think I want to fly over Cuba, just to see, first of all, how big the island actually is, and kind of understand the terrain of it too. So, alright, we are at the runway. We're not on an actual taxiway, but I assume that this is an actual taxiway and just not parked, painted correctly.
Greenville Tower Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 ready at runway 36 right south departure.
Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 altimeter 30.29 wind tree 41 at 7. South departure approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 36 right.
Alright.
Cleared for takeoff runway 36 right Cessna Oscar November 5.
nice smooth liftoff. Let's go ahead. And we're gonna turn right out of here. I assume that's the best way to do it. River's quite a ways away over there.
Cessna Oscar November 5, continue for south departure.
Greenville Tower Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 5, continue for south departure.
Alright, we are outside of the runway. We're going to make a right here. We're going to get headed in about 141 on the direction. And that should take us to Jackson. And it's going to start clouding up once we get closer to Jackson, so not too worried about it. It should be just past. We don't need to go up that high. Elevation wise, everything's under about 600 on the way. So we just kind of need to trim out and let the plane do its thing. So there's the airport, a little better view of it. There was a taxiway down south there. Now it looks like we're going to be going over a whole bunch of fields, and really not a lot on the way. And oddly, Jackson is the biggest city in Mississippi and only has 500,000 in the whole surrounding area, so kind of strange that it's as small as it is. And yeah, flaps off. That would be smart, right? So now I have to retrim because I did all that with the flaps down, and then we get a little bump to the right from my horrible controller, but got some decent airspeed here. At least we got that. We're going to be going over, this is Leland, I think, is what we're going to be heading over right now. There is Mississippi. Yeah, this is going to be a fairly flat area, it looks like, and lots of rivers and lakes and a bunch of small towns through the area, but nothing too exciting on this part. So I think the goal is to go to Jackson.
Cessna Oscar November 5, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Greenville Tower Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 5, frequency change. Memphis Center Cessna Kilo November Echo
Now,
Echo
since
Bravo
we're actually
Oscar
flying in the
November
middle of the
5,
night,
this time Cessna
probably not going to be a whole
152
lot of
miles
traffic.
north of 0 Mike Sierra 52,100 feet. Request flight following.
Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 Memphis Center. Squawk 0024.
Squawk 0024 Cessna Oscar November 5.
Cessna
There's
Oscar
all that
November
stuff
5
down
radar
there.
contact 2 miles north of 0 Mike Sierra 5, 2,300 feet. Altimeter tree 0 decimal 29er.
I don't understand what these fields are.
Roger Cessna Oscar November 5.
This is weird. I don't know. No idea. Alright, so we're going to level off here, it looks like. It'll probably continue to climb little by little. And back off the throttle a bit. But we're going to try to do this as quick as we can. So the way I'm thinking is we'll get to Jackson this trip. And then the next one, we can probably go to Mobile, Alabama, and then we'll just be flying the coast all the way down the west coast of Florida, and then cross over when we need to head to Miami or Homestead or whatever area I choose to end this all at. And then from there, we're gonna just do some random flights. I might take a few weeks off from flying, or get some stuff built up over the holidays. And yeah, we'll see. Kind of want to check out Cuba. Definitely want to check out some random islands, maybe Guam, and then like La Palma volcano. And yeah, we'll see. But definitely in quicker planes, obviously. Have some fun. Maybe do the fighter jet that they've got now. It's ran halfway decent. I did a bunch of flights flying over Omaha back and forth as quick as possible. It's clearly not simulated 100%, but it's still a fun, fast plane. You get the idea of how fast things are with it. A little air pocket there. But yeah, I think we're about three or 4 weeks out from finishing up this series, which is pretty crazy. I don't even remember when I started this. That was a long time ago in Washington, and lots of different things we've seen, and now it's going to kind of just flatten out a bit, especially as we get closer to the coast. And it's more about just finishing off the distance, and then, yeah, I don't know, Jackson should be photogrammetry. It seemed like there was a couple of interesting spots around the city, so it'll be cool to see that, kind of see the size of it. I don't know if, honestly, I don't know if Mississippi Ole Miss or if Mississippi State is in Jackson. I would assume Ole Miss, but might not be either of them. So we will find out. We'll do a quick pass. I assume we're going to have to land to the north at Hawkins Field. So we'll probably do a pass over the stadium. Show you that real quick. So here's the stadium. I'm assuming we're going to come in this way, turn it up there. Racetrack wise, I haven't even looked, so let me look into that real quick. Well, of course, there's Jackson Motor Speedway. I should have figured that one. What do we have? We missed one, actually. Might have been one that was up by, there was Greenville Speedway. How did we miss that? Well, I should have looked at that before we left. Probably seen it, but didn't notice it. Jackson Motor Speedway's on the south side, so we should be able to see that. But unfortunately, I did not think to look beforehand and see if there was one around us when we took off. And I'm guessing we are already too far away. Yes. Looking at this, it looks like this is going to be Hollandale. This little town here, there should be a little airport crossing. Going left, right here, maybe right there. We are heading way too far south right now. This is what's going to be nice about doing some more flights in autopilot planes is I can do some research while I'm flying along, and we can do a little more outside viewing. That is... I don't know, the fields are so small around here. Got another river off to the side there, or just an older lake off of the river. A bunch of fish hatcheries. So yep, there's that airport, very small one. We're going to be going over the Big Sunflower River next. And then getting close to Yazoo City, which I've never heard of. And that is going to be pretty much north of Jackson, the interstate or highway. Goes directly south into Jackson from there. Yep, tiny airport down there, tiny town, and wondering if that's a fish hatchery or just very green. That's got to be water, right? Yeah, we got some more off there, so I think that's what all these are. Have gone up a bit in altitude. Let's calm that down. I don't want to get too high. Yeah, this is crazy that we're this far into the flight with crossing the U.S. It's been very, very interesting. I've enjoyed it. It's given me, you know, a goal, not just doing random flights to random racetracks like I was doing before. It's been fun. I've learned a bit with terrain and with reading the maps, and a little bit with crosswinds and slowing this plane down enough. I think I'll try and also learn the citations.
Contact Memphis Center on 132.5. Good day.
Kind of have some nice fun fast flights.
Cessna Oscar November 5.
Haven't flown those since
Memphis Center, Cessna
this came
Kilo
out.
November Echo Bravo Oscar November 5, 4,500 feet.
Cessna Kilo November Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 Memphis Center altimeter tree 0.29er continuous planned.
Memphis
Oops,
Center,
didn't
Cessna
mean to do
Oscar
that.
November
Oh well.
5 cancel flight following.
We don't need to do any of that.
Cessna Oscar November 5 Memphis Center cancellation received. squawk 1200. Frequency change approved.
Alright, doesn't matter. Kind of out here alone right now at 11:40 at night. But yeah, I definitely didn't want to do another night flight. Even though it makes everything really easy to see, I wanted to just see what this area was like, and really it's just Nebraska with more rivers is what I'm seeing. We are crossing over. Let's see if we can figure out where I'm at now. Interestingly enough, there is a small town, very small town over here. I think right there, called Midnight. So we are crossing over Midnight, Mississippi at 11:44 p.m. in real time. But I think we're in. What do we got here? Is it 10 local time? 10:35, 10:40 local time in sim. And below us looks to be the Sunflower River. Big Sunflower River. It's really being weird in the controls. Not sure if the frames are just being really bad or what. Yeah, frames look fine. Well, not fine, but something's up. Yeah, the controls are very off today. But what we're going to start seeing is a very big lake once we get closer to Jackson. And Jackson's on the south side of it. Our next big area is going to be Yazoo City. I don't know how close we're going to get to it. I think it's actually over here. Heading further south than I want to. Let's get pointed more towards that river over there. Otherwise, we're going to end up too far to the west of Jackson. We'll go this way for a bit and then turn ourselves as needed. Yeah, did a little reading up on Jackson, and it's an old city, but was essentially burned to the ground in the Civil War. So it's still, 100-year-old buildings, but it's been around much, much longer. And it's got, a much smaller population than I would think. And it's, kind of in a weird, like, it's central to the state, but it doesn't seem like it would naturally be the place where people would settle. So Maybe there was a decent sized river going through it until they dammed everything up, or I'm not sure what would bring people to the middle of the state. But, yeah, it's pretty much directly in the middle of the state, which maybe that's just why it's there. And since state government was there, it brought the people. Alright, so we are nearing some towns. Try to figure it out. We've got more of these little hatcheries. Got some snow on the ground, it looks like. Just got these little drifts here in the aerial images. You can see it on like the south side or the north sides of all the roads and trees. So there should be an airport over here, and then Yazoo City is probably there. We've probably turned ourselves back to the south too much, and we have. We found the big first big, like, tree area. And maybe there's some hills in there. Got some weird paths around here, so I'm not sure what that is about. That was a big frame freeze and caused us to jump in view. So yeah, that is just a little lake over there. Not sure if it's got any river. I think it's got a little creek feeding it. Got the highway, which I think is going to be over still a little bit. We've got train track and power lines coming down underneath us. Now we're going to start looking for that big body of water, which could be this right here. That would put Jackson here. It's kind of hard to tell. Luckily the clouds are high enough that we're not going to have to deal with that. Okay, so we got a little river actually going through here. And we got levees on both sides, so that's what's happening there. But since this aerial image is in the winter, not a whole lot of water. This is odd, though. These lines and paths through here. I'm guessing it's just the colors of the trees, and there's something going on with trees that have no leaves and some other things going on that's making it do that. That's my only guess. don't see the airport off to the left that there should be. Maybe it's that right there. We're 4,500, so we're holding that decently. This definitely is... Yeah, that might be the lake that we're kind of looking for. Got bounced around a bit, and that wasn't controller related. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with all of these different colors in the trees, but I'm going to guess something with the time of year that these images were taken. Luckily, we're flying over all this in December anyway, so it's feasible that there's snow on the ground. Or maybe there actually is from the cold front that went through and the Sims putting snow on the ground, but I kind of doubt it. I know it can do that, but I've seen a lot of areas that just the aerial image is got snow. So I'm trying to figure this out, and I think we just need to find that interstate. Follow it down. Which I think this is the interstate. Yeah, that might not be water there. That might just be a patch in the terrain with no trees or something, but I'm not seeing an interstate. And my controls, I need to do this really quick and try to... Something was weird and bound up and not reacting to my left turns. Okay, so it might not be an interstate, it might just be a highway. Got lots of trees and little hills off to the left there. And we've got this weird little horseshoe over there. And that is gonna put me... Yeah, we're still a bit a ways from being able to see the highway that's going south, I think. There's the lake. Okay. That is what I've been looking for. Alright, so we got the lake right there. Just see a little sliver of it. It's gonna put Jackson right here. And I have no idea what that is. It's probably just an open area. Everything's getting lots of trees around it through here. Which means that this has probably got some elevation and hills in it, since it's not farmland. And this is just the natural plains from the Mississippi and all the other rivers that have went back and forth across it over the years. So we don't want to head directly to that lake. This looks to be part of the highway going into town, so we will kind of turn ourselves back to the south now. And let's go ahead and contact the airport now that I know where we're at. We want to land at Hawkins.
Kilo Hotel Kilo Sierra automated weather observation 1600 Zulu. Wind 011 at 7. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 6C dew point 10C altimeter trees.
Hawkins Tower, Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 524 miles northwest, 4,600 feet to land.
Cessna Kilo November Echo Echo Bravo Oscar November 5 Hawkins Tower. Altimeter tree 0.27 wind 011 at 7. Fly left traffic runway tree 4.
Make left traffic runway tree 4 Cessna Oscar November 5.
Alright, so I think that's making left traffic means they want me to do all left turns in. I don't want to do that because then we're not going over parts of town that I actually want to see. So we're going to do rights in, hopefully fly over the stadium, figure out what college is actually here in town, and then check out downtown and land. So actually really not that far off. What we gotta do though is figure out where we're actually gonna come into town at so that I can put us in the right spot. Here's that highway. Is really being weird in my controls. It hasn't been this weird. So I don't know if we're having some wind or it's just not wanting to turn to the left or roll to the left very well. But I think if we follow this highway in, that's going to point us to the part of town that we want to enter. And then we'll be able to kind of see the area. Now the big airport is over here, just almost south of the lake. But we're gonna land in the smaller one that's kind of in town. We're at 4,500 still, so that's good. Starting to see little suburbs. And we'll probably start to see a bit of change in the coloring to that kind of reddish brown photogrammetry that tends to happen. It might actually be happening right here. Is that AI or is that... Yeah, that's AI. It's just, definitely winter looking brown. It's that little patch that I thought was a lake for a second when we were farther out. don't know. Maybe some of this is photogrammetry. No, that's AI. That's not photogrammetry. Hopefully they do have photogrammetry for the town. Just makes everything look so much better. Even though this does look okay from this distance, better than anything that we've ever had, but I want absolute realistic buildings. So it looks like we are at, trying to solve this where we're actually at. I don't think there's actually, I mean there is a town here, but I don't think it shows the name on the map. That I'm looking at. Some good imaging down there though. We got a power line rolling in through here. And this road pretty much goes straight to the north side of the airport. I think we want to head just this direction. And we can knock off a bit of altitude. Although you wouldn't want to do this in reality, we're going to just to kind of be able to see the city a little better. It's one that I have no clue about. Alright, we'll level off here, 1,300. Maybe get a little lower once we get closer. That, there's no way that's the airport, is it? That might be the airport. Okay. Yeah, it is. Okay, that's the airport. This is going to take us somewhere over the stadium. Me trying to get this thing to turn to the left, or I should say roll to the left. Just being very weird. Still no photogrammetry. Let's reduce some speed. drop a bit. Starting to see the town, I think. $3,500. All that good. And I don't know if that's the airport. That seems not in the right spot. That might be something else. But if there's a highway crossing, just north of it, yeah, that's the airport. So, stadium is going to be down about here. Got some buildings here. I start to see some photogrammetry maybe up ahead. It's actually a pretty short runway. Like, not crazy short, but way shorter than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, it looks like we've got some photogrammetry coming in now, so instead of doing the tour of the airport or of the town after we land, we're going to fly over it now. Figure out what college is here. Look at downtown. And yeah, it's really hard to see any residential area. It's massive trees around all of it. Yeah, this definitely looks really good though. And there is the stadium. Look at that. Let's say Mississippi State. I don't think Ole Miss has a horseshoe, does it? Or maybe this is not even either of them. I don't think anything else. I don't think FCS would have anything that large, though. And is there just not even going to be a logo on the field? Okay. Did Ole Miss? Well, I don't have any clue. That was useless.
Cleared to land runway tree for Cessna Oscar November 5.
That did nothing for us on figuring out what college is in town, so I will just have to look it up. But there is downtown. got to be Ole Miss then, right? Because I think Mississippi State definitely has a different looking stadium. Got a big arena out here in the middle of nowhere. And I guess that's like a fairground area. And then got downtown. This looks great. Capitol building or old Capitol building. That's the Capitol building. Yeah, we'll take a closer look. See if we can see anything on the scoreboard or anything like that. Let's get turned in for the airport. You're going way too fast and we're really low, but this looks really good, especially now that we're not looking into the sun glare. Bleed off speed pretty quick because I got to keep the nose up since we're at 1,400 here. I think this runway is bigger than I thought it was. Alright, try to trim this thing. Since my controls are being pretty terrible today. It's back. I have no idea what's off to the right. An old runway, maybe? Looks like this is missing a few buildings as well. Don't hit the flaps yet. We're way too fast right now. Yep, that's an old runway over there. All X'd off. Hope this thing can bleed off some speed because this was a very, very bad approach. And then it's gonna jump up in the air as I bring the flaps out to try to kill off more of this speed. Way too hot. Might be able to salvage it. Definitely not how you want to do it. Well,
November 5, turn next taxiway.
We landed. It was a bit of a weird one there. It, like, really stuttered there at the end. We'll turn off here to the left and go park on the ramp, where there is apparently only a tower. So definitely some missing buildings. I really hate that there's missing buildings when
November 5 exit runway when able.
When the town has photogrammetry.
Cessna Oscar November 5 contact ground on 121.9er.
This should be like some of the most accurate
121.9er Cessna Oscar November 5.
accurate airports, but instead they make it delete all of the photogrammetry buildings, and then you end up with something that's not very good. Alright, let's hop out and try to figure out something about this town. And they have fixed that at least, so we can zoom around without me struggling so much. First, let's go to downtown. It's our speed to get there. Alright, so I've already forgotten what this building was called, but I know it's sort of famous. It's the Something Life building. Then all of downtown, we've got some, I think this is like an event center here. Then I think what I saw was like this is the old Capitol building. And then over here, clearly state capitol, unless I'm completely wrong. And a big hole. They're planning on building something, I guess. And then this thing is just odd. This has got to be a fairgrounds, because you wouldn't really want a stadium that far away from everything else. Then let's head over to the college. Figure out who this is. Well, that has done nothing for me. Ole Miss, though, I think. Unfortunately, very hard to tell with 2D stuff. Let me look really quick. No, because that is in Oxford. What the hell is in Jackson? This town I know just absolutely nothing about. Let's try to find. Sorry, I'm looking on a map right now, which is probably not the best way to do this. There's the airport. It's not Jackson State. Is it? No, there's no way that Jackson State has that big of. That's on the wrong side of town. Mississippi Veterans Memorial, which is home of Jackson State. Holy crap. I did not think Jackson State, well, and there we go. There's Jackson State's logo. Now, see that. Okay, well, I was completely wrong. They have a very big stadium. That is interesting. I guess that's hospital, and, yeah, we learned something. What else is around? This town is pretty spread out. We got the major airport that's going to be over here, I'm gonna guess. Yeah. It's got two massive runways that are spread out quite a bit. But, I didn't want to land there. So, there we are. I learned something. Where is Mississippi State University then? They are in Starkville. Okay. And then Oxford, Ole Miss, which I should have known, but I haven't had a college football game to play in a long time, and so all of that knowledge has slowly left my brain. So, there you go. We are in Jackson, and see where the next stop takes us next week. Thanks for watching.